Warning. The following episode contains spoilers about The Mummy from 2017. Why would they still be making mummies in 2017? Wouldn't that be a health code violation? Well, I suppose it'll give the archaeologists something to do in about 1,000 years. What's that? Uh-huh. Why didn't you just use parentheses then? Welcome to Marianne's Macabre Movie Review.
Hi guys, before we start the podcast, I want to talk to you about some awesome things we're doing on It's All Been Done Presents. Today, I want to talk to you about It's All Been Trekked Before. This is where a few friends get together and watch Star Trek, and then they take a deep dive into the episode and the story. They just finished the first season, so if you can catch up, that's great, and you can follow along right with them. If you are a Trekkie, then this is for you. And also, check out iabdpresents.com for more fun stuff. And please, support all of our programming at patreon.com/IABD. Welcome to Marianne's Macabre Movie Review. Today, we have Amanda.
Hi.
Jeff.
Hey.
Kristy.
Hi.
And Keith.
Why did I have to go last?
Because
you're the husband.
That's the price you pay, right?
Yep. Today we saw The Mummy. The new one. Not Brendan Fraser. And not the 1920s, 40s version. So, now have we seen the other versions also?
Yeah.
I guess
all
so.
of them, yes.
I've not seen the 1930s version, but
Oh,
I've
that's
seen
what I meant.
all of the Brendan Fraser ones.
Yeah, I've seen that and the old ones,
No, just the newer ones with
the newer ones.
Scorpion King and so forth.
Okay, so let's start with our normal, this is what we do thing. Like, this is our general consensus, what we liked, what we didn't like, real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll go and we'll get in more in depth. So, Amanda, would you like to start?
Sure. So, I mean, we're seeing this not too long after it came out, but it's been getting horrible reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was, like, the worst thing ever, but it just felt very mediocre, is what I said to you at the end, Marianne. I'm like, it's just kind of there. Like, I don't know. I liked Jake Johnson in it, but they killed him off super early, so...
Sort of.
Yeah.
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 I liked it. If you get meta, you have to think back to when Marvel was establishing the Marvel Universe. Iron Man came out good because it was judged against all the other bad superhero movies before it. But if you had to make a list now, the first Iron Man wouldn't even hit most people's top 4, maybe 5. But, you know, it's been surpassed by the Guardians and the Avengers. So I think as a way to establish the new shared universe, dark universe, it's good. I have to admit, I'm still a huge Tom Cruise fan, unlike most people, because, you know, he's my age.
Kristy?
I liked it. I had fun with it. I mean, I've seen all the Mummy movies, including the Karloff and all that other stuff, because I'm a huge, like, old monster movie freak. I liked it. I had fun with it. It was a whole bunch of different movies. I mean, there was American Werewolf in London was in there in a weird way.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, right off the bat, I was like, oh, it's Jack. They had the hand from the Black Lagoon in there.
Not
They
the
had,
Blue Lagoon, which I said. I was like, that's not right.
yeah, the Black Lagoon was in there. They tied it all in. It was like Ed and Henry and everybody that was. I loved it because it called back to all the old monsters, and those are my favorites. Those were the ones that I fell in love with first. I thought it was great. I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan, but I could live with him being in that role.
Yeah. Keith?
I thought it was actually pretty funny. I mean,
I'm not sure
in the
It
same,
was, yeah, it was funny.
no, I mean they were in some point. It was
Yeah,
it was like the Brendan Fraser Mummy. I mean, there was
Okay.
in that kind of sense. If you come in expecting something like that, which this was continuing from, it's an update of that, and I thought that was fine. If you're expecting like, I don't know what, cinematic gold or something. I mean, I kind of, they both said what I was going to say. I mean, Jeff and Kristy's, which is, you know, it's fine for establishing universe. It was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't really want much more from that. I mean, there were a couple of slow spots, but I wasn't like miserable or anything.
Yeah.
So
Well, they can only go up from here. Is my thing. Is while I enjoyed parts of it, other parts I was like, what is going on? This is not right. This is like, let's embalm her when she has active holes in her. Like, why is mercury not coming, like, pouring out of her places? Because, I mean, it had been going in constantly for, like, how is this happening?
You touched on something I was going to mention, too.
Yeah, I had that same thought.
Yeah, and I am a big monster movie person also, so I was super jazzed for Jekyll, because I knew he was going to be in it.
Yeah.
Don't like the actor that much.
I'm not a big fan of Russell Crowe.
Yeah, but I was very impressed with what he did. His hide was amazing.
Yeah,
I was like,
I was like,
him.
I wasn't sure we were gonna get Hyde.
Me too. I was like, oh, they're just gonna.
I was excited.
They said they shoehorned Jekyll in, so I assumed he was a cameo at the end or something. But that was not shoehorned in at all. He was.
He was part of the story.
Hi, I'm Nick Fury.
Yeah.
How's it going? You know,
That's something like that. Like,
yeah, he was definitely an integral part of the plot.
Yeah, it's just I think they might have been saying maybe because in the book and in the movies, Dr. Jekyll's a doctor and that's it, not a lawyer and all these other things.
He's like, oh, and I'm a lawyer. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, whatever.
Of course.
So, they did pass the Bechdel test. I
wasn't sure about that, actually.
The mummy talked with, Amunet talked with Jenny.
Right, what is it about?
No, they were talking about what was your afterlife about.
That's true.
Yeah, they didn't talk about him at all.
Right.
She did say at the end, "Oh, by the way, they're going to kill him," because she knew that. Yeah. But the bulk of their conversation was about, can you share with me what the afterlife is about?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I was waiting for it. I was like, they better have her talk to the mummy because I want this to pass the Bechdel test.
I mean, when you have the main villain as a woman and the secondary hero as a woman, it should pass the Bechdel test.
You would think, but there's
so many that don't.
Yeah. So, let's open it up. Come on, guys. What do we like? What we didn't like? What bugged you?
For me, what bugged me was some of the dialogue was overly cheesy. Like, there were parts to me where it was funny. And like I said, I like Jake Johnson in it. And his character, like you said, Kristy, definitely reminded me American Werewolf in London. Jack, the character of Jack in that. But I don't know, like the whole underwater thing just seemed to go on forever and seemed pointless. And I was like, why are they underwater right now?
That's the point where I decided I was rooting for the mummy. I was like, I want the mummy to win. I want the girl to die, and I want either Tom Cruise to die or become cursed forever. And he had this
but you got
moment.
both.
He had this moment where he
true.
was like,
you did get that.
but she's still alive. She's
not
dead. It's the anti-hero. So he had this moment where he's like, back to Jekyll saying, it deserves a sacrifice. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna take the thing, become Set, and kill himself. So then he's destroying Set. No. I'm just gonna be the mummy. I'm gonna kill her, and
I thought he was gonna stab the other girl and give her the power instead.
I thought that too.
Yeah, I went through all those things, all through my head, and I was like, I'll take any of these other than these three and they went with the one that I was like, I guess it's okay. I mean, I'm okay with Tom Cruise being the mummy. I kind of wanted there to be a female mummy, though. Have her continue.
Oh, she'll be back.
You can
tell they're like, we're just going to put her on ice here for a bit. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah, because she hasn't escaped from that exact same spot before.
Yeah. Because Tom Cruise just like, hey, oh, look, all these pulleys. I'm totally cool with this working still. Bang!
I predict that they're probably going to partner up at some point. Maybe she'll be good or something when they bring her out for some worse monster eventually.
Well, they so set it up at the end, like, sometimes it takes a monster to fight a monster.
I'm like,
That's an example of dialogue for me where I was just like, oh, that's so heavy-handed. Why?
I'll give you that. I mean, I was, for some, I
Keith
think
was
most
like,
of the other...
what?
I know. I think most of the other stuff was cheesy in a way that I thought was funny, and maybe sometimes intentionally over the top. That one, sure. I mean, I wasn't gonna be like, oh my god, this is so awful. And it's just, it's there. They're doing it. Maybe they meant it to be funny. Maybe they didn't. But.
So they did have the Book of Amun-Ra from the...
Yeah, I was like, what is that book? What is that book? Oh my god, I know that book. Why do I know that book?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marianne was like, I'm like, wait, what is that? Because it looks familiar.
Yeah, that's the book from Amun-Ra with the...
Yeah.
Where she's like, don't read
book.
out loud.
Yeah.
Don't read out loud. Never read out loud from a book. I mean, if you've ever been in any horror movie, don't do it.
Yeah. But to put that in the context, since I didn't know, and some other people listening might not know what you mean. What movie is that from?
To never read out loud from a book?
That's from The Mummy, Brendan Fraser's version.
Yeah.
And that's where who was the actress in that? The main
Rachel Weisz.
She opens up the thing with the little key and just starts reading from the book. It's she said it was the Book of Ra, but it was actually the Book of the Dead. So it brings back the evil mummy, Imhotep.
I do have to say, I like Rachel Weisz better than I did Annabelle Wallis in this movie. I mean, for the most part, I thought she was fine, other than half of her lines were just, Nick. Nick.
The part that got me was Mummy it was coming in the side door. It was already in half. It was going like this to Nick. So she had nothing on her, and she kept saying, get it off me, get it off me. You get it off you! You have hands!
I heard you say that.
I was just like, I mean, of course, my last movie I just saw was Wonder Woman, so we're like going from I'm a woman who can do anything to I can't do this.
Touch it. When they were hanging off, the zombies were hanging off of the car. I was like, just scrape it off on a tree.
Yeah.
And then he goes and scrapes it off. I'm like, guys, do you not? How do you? I mean, there was parts of the dialogue where I would look at Jeff and I would say exactly what they were going to say next, and they would say it, and I was like, why is this so predictable?
That reminds me of something I thought was pretty funny.
What?
When we're leading up to one of the jump scares, you're telling Amanda, we know it's coming, and I went to try to do a fake scare on you, and it happened to coincide right at the moment. When the jump happened.
You jumped a mile. It was hilarious.
What's that?
You jumped a mile.
No, I didn't jump. I was trying to pretend like I was jumping a mile, but it was like
you
right
were
there.
Trying to scare her.
Doing like the and it was right at the point where it actually. And so you were jumping on the other side.
Yeah, I thought you jumped, but I can't remember what it was at.
I didn't jump at all. It was the mummy in the coffin.
Oh, okay.
I was getting ready for it. It's about
several times.
Yeah, I thought you jumped.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to say, Amanda's our scaredy cat of the show. So she does not do horror at all.
I don't.
So therefore, I have taken on the brunt of that, all the
yes,
horror.
That's why I do other movies on my podcast, and then Marianne does all the horror
She
movies.
does all the romantic comedies, so I don't have to do that.
Take that bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was leaving my house, my husband Jeremy was like, "Wait, where are you going? Are you doing two podcasts yet? Because I'm recording after this." And I was like, "Yeah, the first one's for Marianne's," and he was like, what movie are you going to see? Because he knows I can't handle horror. And I was like, The Mummy. And he goes, does that count as horror? And he was like, wait, it's as horror as you can handle, right? And I was like, yes.
I don't see him as a horror. I mean, if it's anything like the old 30s, it doesn't strike me as horror.
That's what I was thinking is... I mean, it's a monster movie, and monster movies are a different animal
from horror.
It's horror / action / comedy.
Yeah.
This one was one that, since it's the dark universe, that I'm going. That was air quotes. The dark universe means that I'm probably going to do all the monster movies when they come out because I just love them so much, especially Dracula and all those really classic ones that they're gonna do.
So excited for a Wolfman movie.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I am so
Is it
waiting.
Vin Diesel or is it
I
The
don't
Rock?
know. I don't know who's
No,
in
they-
it.
they
I have no idea. I
One
don't.
They
of
just announced a
they
whole
just
bunch of
announced-
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw a couple of things and I'm just like, oh God, please don't ball this up. I mean, I'm a sucker for a werewolf movie. I love them, and if they bone this one, I will I'll be like so annoyed.
So the Wolfman is,
It's a werewolf.
I don't. Yeah, I was when I was looking too, because they were rolling through all the things. Like they had the hand from the Creature of the Black Lagoon. They had a vampire skull, and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, Talbot's cane. Something has to be in there. Something has to call back to that. And I didn't see anything. Did they have like a skeleton or something of a?
I don't
wolf?
know. There was a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, and I was
So-
picking through it
Some
like,
freeze
oh,
frame kind of
shit.
things
If
you have to see.
yeah.
yeah,
if
if I'd had like when it comes out, say on Netflix or something, because eventually it will, I'm gonna have to go slow mo just to look at the inventory,
Yeah.
you know, and see
because
what else is calling out.
Clearly, I mean, they really focus, like you said, on the skull of the vampire.
Yeah, like
and-
that's the next movie, or you
Yeah.
know, and I'm looking at
But
other
there
stuff.
had to be more like Easter eggy
Yeah,
kind of stuff in there.
that I'm like, oh, there's got to be a Call to a Wolf movie. There has to be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people won't pick up on the book because that was very fast.
Yeah, that was quick, and we were all like, what? Wait, I know that book. Why do I know that book?
I was impressed that Marianne knew what that was. Like, I haven't seen the Brendan Fraser one for years.
That's
No,
why
I
I-
haven't seen it
long
either in a
time.
really long time.
And
I was trying to think. I thought maybe it was like in Hellboy or something. I'm like, I know I've seen this. Where did we see this?
so the thing that bothered me, since we're talking about the Mercury bit, even just her being able to talk with that smooth, sexy voice and having holes in her cheeks, it wouldn't work that way. There's
She
like
would
actual-
whistle. She
Yeah,
would
there's like
whistle.
Oh, yeah.
something
There'd be
until
some
she
sloshing around
until she
her.
was whole. You know. But
One of the things that really creeped me out was like the spiders.
yeah, the camel spiders, that was creepy crawlies.
Yeah.
And even the spider that just like crawled into the one guy's ear.
Yeah.
Which, how did he not feel it climbing up his face?
It's a stealth spider. That's what it's for.
No, so I
He goes,
have,
oh, whoops, it's too late. I guess it's gone. I guess I
we
must
have
have gotten it.
there's a story at work, just last week. Everyone was on a Skype call, where it's video, and we're all watching. And then we're all on the same floor. We just couldn't find a meeting room. And I see Jennifer, and we go, sees an ant go like this.
Oh, across her
And
face.
crawls across. I mean, like an ant, not just like beep, beep, beep. And she sees it on the screen, and we're beginning to see it because it keeps pixelizing. We're like, and all of a sudden she sees it, and you see her go, and go,
Oh, just freaking out.
and just like,
like the Tom Cruise bag freak out.
Yeah.
The bag freak out.
The,
Those
uh,
always
the body
kill
bag
me.
freak out, yeah.
yes, the
Whenever
bag.
anybody comes back from the dead in a bag, they all do that. I'm like, what? Just chill, Jesus.
What was the, yeah.
I think I'd be a little worried.
No,
I'd be like, what the?
I don't know. They always come back like, you know, like they're freaking out, and it's like, has anyone ever just laid there for a minute and went, what the actual?
What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just laid there for a minute and thought about it instead of like freaking out. It's like,
What?
I gotta. Yeah, I need a minute. You know.
My question is, when did they start making translucent body bags?
Yes,
That was weird.
Yes,
Maybe that's an England thing.
I think that's a movie thing because
Yeah.
legit, I do not think legit body bags are translucent.
Yeah, I
Maybe
watch
they're
a lot.
recycled.
There is a purpose for that because if you can see stuff sloshing around in there,
Right?
you don't want that.
And I watch a lot of British like crime dramas.
Yeah.
They're usually white bags.
Yeah, they are, but they're not translucent.
Yeah.
They're white.
What was the,
I think that
I-
was just for
it
effect.
was really
Mhm.
nice to see Tom Cruise not be Tom
Tom
Cruise in a
Cruise,
movie.
yes.
There were times where he was like, fuck, you know, and where he was just like grasp, you know,
Yeah.
like I have no idea what's going on. And normally he's like the,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm so
I'm on it.
suave.
I know
I'm
what's
in
yeah.
going on.
control.
I liked his alley freak out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
When he had just seen Jake Johnson's character
Yeah.
in the bathroom, and he's just like overwhelmed, and he goes out in the alley, and he's just like throwing his arms, like trying to like push down the weight of what he
so
just
drunk
saw.
right now. I'm so drunk right now. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I need a minute. There's rats over there.
Yeah.
Yes. 'Cause, yeah, it led
The
straight
rat
into
thing was
the
great
rats.
too. Just
The
like
rat
I need to
thing
get
was
out of here, and then there's
awesome.
rats, and
Yeah.
it's like Jake Johnson's character Vale.
Mhm.
I kept being distracted in the sense that Tom Cruise's character is called Nick, and of course that's you always
His
think Nick.
name in New Girl, I know.
You always, every time you go, oh, that's Nick. You go, no, wait.
What? Oh, right. I know. I kept thinking that.
There's a show called New Girl, which Jake
Uh-huh.
Johnson's on, and his character's name is Nick, and that's like his most famous role. So every time you see him, you go, oh, that's
I was
Nick.
like, where had I seen him before? But I've never watched
Yeah,
New Girl.
he's a New
Mhm.
Girl. You might have seen him in Jurassic World. He was.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
one
I
of-
didn't see that.
Oh,
either.
okay.
Yeah, I don't. He just looked really familiar, but he looked like somebody else.
So my other problem with this is that it turned into a kind of a zombie movie,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
I liked that though.
I mean, it was comical, and I don't think they meant it that way sometimes. Where
Almost Evil Deadish, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Army of
Army of
they
Darkness.
were like scrambling, you know, they can't walk at all. It was just like, you're just like flailing around. But then as soon as they're in water, they're like,
Well, that's what I said to
I'm
Jeff. I said,
floating.
why are they swimming? Why are they not walking? I mean, why would they start swimming immediately? I mean,
Yeah.
these guys have been dead and they've been underwater forever. Why are they immediately swimming? Why aren't they walking? Why aren't they just getting out of the casket and taking a stroll?
yeah.
Why is their first instinct to swim?
Especially they're all on their Crusader gear.
Right.
When we
Yeah.
saw the
And
first
why didn't they
Crusader go
sink?
sink.
Exactly.
Wait, I have a question. Why were the Crusaders suddenly her dark army?
I have a problem with that. I was like, why
Yeah,
would
that
she
didn't
be
make
able to
sense
raise
either.
them just because they're dead?
I think that's
Why
the
not
point.
call
Yeah.
up all the, you know,
Well,
someone
they
that's
did though. In
Yeah.
the subway, they called up the dead that were around.
Yeah, the
and it wasn't
regular-
all Crusaders. It was people
Mhm.
from like the wars and stuff. I mean, you
Yeah.
can see uniforms and stuff.
Well, I think she knew maybe they would be around where she needed to be or where they would be going, and so
And
I
they
was
did-
like, I know those guys. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed
I
like
call
it
the
would
locals.
not
Yeah.
be able to work. It like this person has an affiliation with you know, they're super religious, so therefore they
Hmm.
wouldn't be able to be raised for evil.
Right,
They
for
would be.
different-
And that's where
That's
they hid
D&D.
the stone, was in a Crusader's tomb. So like that, if she can just raise any dead, not just the ones that she is like
tainted in some way.
mummified, zombified, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
Like that's where it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, because then there never should have been a problem of her trying to find where the stone was. She could have just like called out to her dead, and one of them would have been like, "Oh,
I got it right here."
it's with me."
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it felt weird that it was the Crusaders in
Yeah.
particular.
It could have also had something to do with the level of her strength at those various times in the movie. It wasn't until she got that last
Yeah.
hit, got her cheeks back. Like, I can call sand now. You know.
Yeah.
I can call sand.
Right?
Yeah.
What level of dead do you need to be
Yeah.
to be able to
Yeah.
call
Well,
sand?
12.
Yeah.
12.
What level dead guy?
Yeah, she had to level up. Yeah, she had to
Yeah.
suck a few more people down, and I was like, yeah. That's actually a couple of things that were funny about that to me. You know, regular human Tom Cruise kept trying to do the hero thing, running at her, and just slap.
Oh
Slap.
gosh,
I,
yeah.
I did like that.
That was
And,
one of my favorite
I
scenes.
like that too.
You know, just when he stabbed her in the leg, and she just turned and looked at him like, "Do you fucking
For
know how?
real?
Do you know how many people I had to fucking drain to get my leg back? And you
Yeah.
just ruined that thing." It was,
That's
Yeah.
gonna cost me a kid.
Yeah. that was so good. Strong Amonette was the best against just human Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
It was great.
Mhm.
I'm glad. I was nice to see him get the smackdown occasionally and never
Yeah.
have.
He
know,
wasn't superhuman
right.
just because he was in
'Cause he's
the
Tom
military
Cruise, yeah.
in Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
We're still. Are you go?
We got to see the continuation of the trope that Tom Cruise runs
In
in
every
every
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And no disappointment here.
Knife
He
hand.
really runs.
Yeah.
slap.
Yeah.
It was interesting that, like you said before, he wasn't the expert in the movie. I don't doubt that he was good at something,
Yeah.
but we didn't get
It
to
wasn't
see it.
antiquities trafficking.
It wasn't
Yeah.
trafficking.
That made me angry. I was like, how could he not know? Like just the way they were going about it. I'm like,
Hmm.
actual real antiquities traffickers do not they're not like that casual about it. I mean, they know what they're doing. And when he was like, "What's a reliquary?" I'm like, "Dude, this is your business. How do you not know what the hell a reliquary is?"
He knows what gold is.
What is this?
Yeah, this is gold.
Yeah.
The other thing, let's pull out the sarcophagus and then just let's fly it by helicopter.
Oh, I know.
The
the whole thing in me was killing me.
It was like, and it's just flopping around. I'm like, and then all of a sudden it lands, and she's like, "This is 6,000 years old.
What the hell are you
Be
doing?
careful. Be careful."
Yeah.
It's like,
Be careful loading out of the plane.
did you see
Yeah.
what was happening to it just a few seconds ago as it was
Yeah.
flopping around with the air and the sand
And
the
I
sky?
turned to you and I was like, what about all the other artifacts
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
in there? They were just like, we got the sarcophagus. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
My thought
Catalog
about
any
that,
of
of
this.
course, was I mean, I think that she understood the significance of the way things were posed, and that was probably the most valuable part of it. They're in a time crunch, et cetera, et cetera. It was about to collapse. Having some
Yes.
if you had to save one thing,
Technically,
in other words.
archaeologically, you are correct. You go in, you catalog where everything is in situ, and then you get the hell out as soon as you can.
But I mean, I think that the place is going to come down, or it's going to be bombed by someone else.
Yeah.
And so, if you had to
They
save
were-
one
there
thing, what
was
would you
a-
pick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm coming in.
Take the big
that
thing.
too.
That's what they said.
But the storm.
Yeah.
They just dig it up
Speaking of
again.
time, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
They did.
no,
Get ready, sorry.
let's do our. Amy, have final thoughts?
Not anymore, I guess.
Like-
Like what?
Liked it. I'll go see the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Keith?
Similar. I mean, it's one of those things about like the internet explosions of, oh, this is the worst thing ever because this didn't do one little thing, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no.
But it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like to me it was a mediocre movie, but I didn't think it was awful.
Right.
And I do think they did a decent job of setting up the universe. I've seen far worse
Yeah.
things where they try to set up sequels and it fails.
So, Frady Cat, please share with us your rating. So, I would like a rating of how scary you thought it was, and then
Okay.
also like your regular 1 through 10.
Okay. So, how scary I thought it was. Like, I did get scared. I mean, especially the creepy crawly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a few times I could feel, because, like, when I watch legit horror movies, like if I've had to for a film class or something, I feel like I'm starting to have a panic attack. Like, my heart starts racing and I feel really uncomfortable. And zombies, I have a really hard time with. So, the fact that, like, her dead army was very much like zombies, like that, it freaked me out a lot, especially when they were in the church.
Oh, okay.
And the creepy crawlies. So my scariness, is that on 1 to 10?
1 to 10, yeah.
I'd say like a 5, maybe 4 or 5. Like I did get frightened a few times. But not to the point where I'm like, Marianne, I can never do this again.
Okay, so now your regular rating.
My regular rating, okay, 1 to 10, I think maybe around the same.
Okay, yeah.
Like a 5
Yeah.
and a half, maybe, something like that.
Jeff?
I have a really easy rating system. Worth seeing. Catch it.
1 through 10. 5 being average.
6-ish, 6.5.
Okay. Yeah, no.
I wasn't in love with it.
Yeah, no.
Definitely not better than Wonder Woman.
No.
Kristy?
But
I liked it. I thought it was fun. I wasn't. There was nothing scary to me. There was nothing scary in it. I mean, I could see stuff coming like a mile away. I loved it. I give it like a 7 or an 8. I think it was fun.
Probably somewhere in between 6.5, 7.
I give it a 7.5. I liked it. There were parts where it was just like, I roll my eyes, like the bared stomach look.
Yeah.
That's for fuck's sake when that happens. But that was thankfully the only one, so which was good. Anybody have anything they want to promote? Finally, before we move to the next
Any
thing.
podcasts?
Yes, I have a podcast. I have 2 podcasts. I have Amanda's Picture Show, A Go-Go, where I talk about movies, new episodes of that.
Not horror.
Yeah, not horror movies. Thriller, like Hitchcock, but not horror. So those episodes come out on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then I also have a pop culture one that I recently started, Culture Pop A Go-Go, with my mom and sisters. And that's weekly and comes out on Tuesdays.
Cool. Jeff, got anything?
I don't have anything.
Christy?
Nope, not at the moment.
Is that in the library or whatever?
Now there's we've got our 40th anniversary exhibit that's going on until October. That's all we've got right now.
Oh, God, what else? A few plays. You know, there's going to be response scenario on it whenever this is going to be released, but that's the end of June and first weekend of July. And I just started to do an audiobook that's going to be...
Ooh.
Well, the thing is due around the end of July, so it's probably going to be available on Audible around August. Called People Born in May, Anti-Horoscope, Human Software, Book 5.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a long title, too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am Marianne, and this is Marianne's Macabre Movie Review. If you're listening, you already know about us. So, yippee! All right, folks. That's it. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye!